Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve, otherwise known as Pin, and today we are going to take a look at the newly concept released IAE Misc Odyssey. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, this is without a doubt the best looking spaceship that Misc have ever made, in my opinion. Okay, I absolutely love the look of this thing. And then I thought, well, I'm going to have to get one. So I did, and I melted my Carrick, and the good thing is, the loaner ship for this is a Carrick, so I haven't lost nothing, okay, as it stands at the moment. I'm really looking forward to this ship. I'm going to do my best to explain why. I'm also going to do my best to defend the Carrick, because this is being labelled as, you know, a Carrick Killer, which is wrong, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree at any point, because this is what makes this great about this community, right? We can all get in, throw our ideas out there, how we're going to use these things, what effect will do this. This is why it's awesome. But I'm going to try and put across my feelings about it, and try to defend the Carrick at the same time. So, let's begin by starting with the statement from Misc. Survey distant frontiers and explore the furthest reaches of space with the Misc Odyssey, the most advanced and complete exploration ship available to civilians. Designed to be supremely self-sufficient, the Odyssey comes with an onboard refinery with built-in mining tech, expansive capacity for supplies, and a hangar capable of housing a small ship, along with comprehensive, comfortable accommodations for a crew of 6. Discover a new life among the stars, only from Misc. So, quite a bold statement. The most advanced explorer ship. However, there are some things missing from this ship that I would argue do not make it the most supreme exploring ship. But we'll come on to that in a little bit. Before we do, let's take a look at some of the things that we get with this ship. So, cargo hold 252 of dedicated space. That's respectable. It's not Carrick sized, but it's still very respectable. Weapons and shield, we have 3 size 5 guns and 4 strategically positioned missile racks and shields that are built to take a beating, and I would hope so for the size of it. We have a hangar. The Odyssey's expansive onboard hangar accommodates small ships, perfect for scouting, recon or specialised expeditions off-ship. The hangar can also accommodate visitors seeking your services, company or even a ride. Medical bay. The Odyssey's professional spec tier 2 med bay gets injured parties back in the action quicker than ever. It's the closest thing to a hospital facility you'll find on an exploration vessel. Is it though? Mining arm and tractor beam. Okay, this is a cool feature. That can't be denied. The Odyssey is remarkably self-sufficient thanks to fully integrated remote operated mining arm and tractor beam. Extract quantanium and transform it into quantum fuel with the ship's built-in refinery, meaning you'll never miss a jump again. And then of course, another big selling point, the onboard refinery. The Odyssey is hard pressed to run out of fuel even in the deepest corners of untamed space thanks to its fully integrated refinery. Gas is captured by the ship's intakes, automatically converted to hydrogen fuel, while mined quantanium is refined into quantum fuel to extend your journey. So, all very cool stuff. I love the sound of that. I like that we have an onboard refinery, as we can see here. I would imagine this is the onboard refinery. Does have that Misc feel to it. Very industrial sort of vibe. Steel grated floors. 2 big old refineries, some random dude holding a clipboard pretending to work. He's I mean, he can't even see the screens from there, right? This guy. It's another. I've got bad feelings about this guy. It's just like, you know, when you're at work and your boss is near and then you pretend to just do stuff. That's exactly what he's doing. But we can't deny, this ship definitely has some interesting and cool features. So, looks aside, as I said, I very much love the look of this ship. The mining arm and the tractor beam are going to be super useful. There's no doubt that that is going to make an excellent addition to the game loop for this ship. And it's a size 2 laser, so it's a big old laser, right? We got the tractor beam. So there's so many things we could do and explore with this ship. I see it as not so much an exploration ship, okay? I see it as a surveying ship, okay? I'm going to try and explain why to the best of my ability. We'll see how that goes, right? So here we have an image of the medical bay. Again, when you're out exploring, quote unquote, you're going to need this. This is another excellent addition to this ship, okay? I think it's very important for a ship of this size that a medical bay is included, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And we all know how we die to steps. Everyone's died to steps. You know, if we can't get in and out the ship, we're going to need a medical bay. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. Where does that leave the Carrick? Well, in my opinion, the Carrick is still going to be a superior exploring vessel, okay? There is no reason to think that the Odyssey is a Carrick Killer. I think that is the wrong way to look at it, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree, as I've said. I like having the discussions with you guys. It's awesome. In the comments, if you've got anything you disagree with, by all means put it in. I still think the Carrick is going to be a superior exploration / expedition vessel for a couple of reasons. One, it's more than likely going to be easier to fly. I also think that, you know, the Carrick has much better visibility. Misc ships tend to have pretty poor visibility, but there are some things of the Carrick that are not yet implemented that are still going to make this ship even better than what it is now. So here's an old image of the Carrick, okay, and as you can see, we've got the detachable modular pods. So if this ship is going to get these detachable modular pods, it becomes a game changer for the Carrick, right? Because we could possibly have a refinery module, a repair station module, a medical module, whatever sort of module they can dream up. If we can switch out these cargo bays for that, then straight away the Carrick becomes a new animal, if you will. We also get drone launchers with this ship that we're supposed to be getting again, which is going to be super useful. If I'm looking to traverse the verse and explore the deepest regions of space, I'm not taking my Odyssey, I'm taking my Carrick, because it has that capability, right? So these, I think, are some of the important aspects of the Carrick, and which is why I don't believe the Odyssey is a Carrick Killer. I think that's a very strong word to say that. I would class the Odyssey as a huge surveying ship, like an oil rig on engines, okay? But if I want to go exploring, I'm taking the Carrick. The Carrick also has a hologram nav table, which is extremely important, I would have thought, for exploration to plan operations. As far as I'm aware, there is no mention of that for the Odyssey, okay? Which is a missed opportunity, I would say. A missed opportunity. Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry. I did it. I went there. So don't write off the Carrick, is what I'm saying. I'm trying to look at the bigger picture here. Yes, the Odyssey is awesome. I love it. But there are some things it won't do as well as the Carrick. Like I said, and if we can get these two ships in a fleet working together, then the possibilities become endless, right? Because one has strengths, one will have weaknesses. So what we'll do now, guys, is take a look at the Holoviewer for the Odyssey. Okay, so I've tried to explain and defend the Carrick a little bit, because if it comes to where it should be and reaches its full potential, I think these two ships will work in tandem beautifully. Again, feel free to disagree. It's absolutely fine. I welcome the comments. Okay, so let's take a look at the Holoviewer then. And it is a big old ship. It's bigger than the Carrick. I can't quite remember off the top of my head right now how much bigger, but it is a bit bigger than the Carrick. I love the look of this. I really do. I know that visibility for the cockpit is not going to be brilliant. You can see we've got the two turrets on top with size 5 weapons. We have one at the rear somewhere. But it's just the shape of this thing. It looks very sleek. Excuse me. Very sleek, very sort of mean looking in its own way. The engines look awesome. I just love it. It screams space and sci-fi, and like I said, if I could design a pin ship, this in my mind brain is something I would have come up with, you know. Really like the look of it. It is a monster, okay. It is a monster, this thing. Can't wait to get in it. I would love to do a tour of this. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It really is. I mean, I'm wondering how it's going to handle. I can't see it handling all too well. Okay, especially in atmosphere. We do have wings though. The sort of trademark winglets, if you will, on this upper engine. So it might not be too bad. I do think the Carrick will be more manoeuvrable. Absolutely. So there's a lot of interesting sort of conjecture we can get from this. But this wing here, I do like that touch. Aerodynamically, I think it's going to help. And we come around to the rear of the ship. And the first thing I think of when I see the rear of this ship, this sort of area here just reminds me of the back of a McLaren F1. Do you know what I mean? You're not getting that vibe? I'm getting that. To me looks like the back of a sports car. You know, very, very familiar to McLaren F1. And we got like a spoiler at the top here, which I love, by the way. I think that's awesome. I really do. From the back, it looks absolutely epic. Pretty much like the front, but the back looks very sort of McLaren F1 sports car, supercar, you know. I love that. That's awesome. We also do get, of course, a small turret. Sorry, not a small turret. Another turret at the bottom of the ship. So unlike Rocket Space Industries, this turret will actually be fairly effective. It's not surrounded too much, I would say, by anything blocking its lines of sight. I think it is a great spot for the turret. Should there be more turrets? Well, no, not really, because I like the idea of having a 6-man crew. I like that idea, because I have to think about how many times do I actually play with more than 6 people, and the answer is not that often due to time zones, etc. Okay, I also like the idea that a 6-man crew, if I replace that with NPCs, depending on how effective they're going to be, only time will tell, it's not going to cost as much as, say, running a Polaris. You know? So those are things that sort of drew me to the ship as well. The onboard refinery, yes, awesome. The mining arms, awesome. The fact that it has a fairly decent hangar, also awesome. The fact that you can sacrifice cargo space for, there's a cargo ramp here, for a vehicle, awesome. So this is all stuff that sort of drew me to this ship. I love this sort of, where the mining arm is here, this separate cabin, but it's not too intrusive. It sort of blends into underneath the cockpit, where we have the mining head laser here and then the tractor beam here. It's cool. You can't deny it's cool. Do I love it more than my Banu? Definitely not. The Banu to me is just the holy grail of spaceships. The merchantman, I love it. I love that merchantman. You guys know that's my ship. But this isn't far off, if I'm being honest, to how I feel about it. The way it looks, the size of it. I'm looking forward to see what we can exploit in the future with this ship. Okay. So it'd be interesting to hear from you guys. You know, let me know. Did you get one? Did you not get one? Are you sticking with your Carrick? Why are you sticking with your Carrick? Why did you get one? Let me know down below. I am genuinely interested how you guys feel about this ship. Because I think it's awesome. Now let's take a look at the technical breakdown then. Height 35 meters, width 90 meters, length 140, cargo 252 as we know, hangar landing pad, crew of 6, medbed tier 2, 3 times turret size 5, shield size 4, mining laser size 2, QT drive size 3, fuel tank size 3. Now there are some components there, and it is so large, you could probably get away with calling this a capital ship. I would have thought. I wouldn't disagree with you. although it's classified as a large ship, I guess, I wouldn't disagree with you. So let's take a look at the sort of blueprint schematic of the ship. Now, first thing that jumps out to me, so we're on the after deck, right? We have a gravity generator from the Xion tech side of technology there, which is nice. Refinery, create your own fuel supply, which we know about. Slap bang in the middle, I like that. That's nice. If you look at the design, it's all very symmetrical, looks very nice and easy to navigate around the ship, which I like. We have the engines, easy access makes maintenance a breeze. It does look pretty roomy from what we can see here in the grand scheme of things. So that's at the rear left of the ship. We have a main elevator here, which I imagine will go through all the decks, right? I'm not entirely sure if that will be an exit point for the ship. It could be. I would have thought so. It would have made sense to do so. Main deck. Okay, so we have the bridge. Pilot the Odyssey with excellent visibility and effortless control access. I don't think it will have excellent visibility. I think that's a little fib. Component access, repairs and modifications are easier than ever. Okay, there seems to be like a whole separate room there. Maybe an engineering room, possibly. That would be my hypothesis. Remote weapon stations. So we have remote turrets, which is nice. Don't have to risk the very little crew members we have, right, by getting them to sit in a glass turret. So, again, another positive, I would say. Main elevators. So that's, again, from the floor above. So that does obviously reach through to the other deck. Easily access all three decks, yeah. Pretty handy, the elevators, obviously. But I'm looking at the sort of floor plan here. Aha! Escape pods. Very important for when we need to run away bravely. Behind the cockpit, behind the bridge, sorry. Slap bang in the middle. And if you look at the floor plan, I think that's actually a pretty good spot, right? Because if you're at the back of the ship, the way it's designed with this floor plan, it looks really easy to get to. So if there was some sort of catastrophe or accident, because we're dealing with contanium, right? Volatile stuff. If something was to go wrong, I like the fact that we can get everyone to that escape pod actually fairly quickly, because it looks fairly straightforward and nice and symmetrical floor plan to get there. Crew quarters, comfortable accommodations for 6. Yeah, okay. It doesn't look too big. I guess we'll know more when we get closer to get some more images, maybe. Mess hall, full galley and common room. So we do have a galley. Locker room. Bestowing stuff. Again, that's going to be important. That's a fairly big room there. I think that looks like maybe mini benches or something. People get changed for shifts, maybe? Kind of hard to see. Or that could be the lockers itself. Then we have the docking collar. A large docking collar, which will definitely come in useful, I think, for space station docking. So we have one there, which is a large docking collar, and then the opposite end is the small docking collar. Again, these could be used for emergency exits as well, right? So if you couldn't get to the escape pod for whatever reason, then you could always run away bravely out of these docking collars. I kind of like that. That's cool. Okay, so that is the main deck. But again, this floor plan, I like the look of it. It looks very easy to navigate and straightforward. And I think after maybe an hour, 2 hours flying the ship, you're going to be pretty familiar pretty quickly, I think. So I like the floor plan. I think it's good. It looks well designed. Then we have the hangar deck. And at the bottom we have the mining controls. So that would be the laser, obviously. Probably the tractor beam. Comfortably control the mining rig and tractor beam. Yeah. And again, it's in that little cabin sort of located under the nose of the ship, just underneath the bridge, which is really cool. I like that sort of double look to the front of this ship. Will come in super useful. I think the ability to mine Contanium. Whether or not you can pack it into storage and sell that Contanium, I don't know. There was no mention of it. I would like to think that'd be a possibility. I would also like to think that if you've got other ships on board with you, that you're going to be able to use that Contanium to refuel those as well. I'd like to see that. Let's hope that is a thing. We have the mining system. Gather Contanium via the integrated mining arm. Okay, that's cool. So there's going to be some sort of mechanical device in there to move all that stuff around, I guess. Now, if that's implemented, I wonder if, yeah, like I said, I wonder if we can transform that Contanium, move it to like where ship's in a hangar and refuel it. Medical facility, obviously I've said this before. I think it's very important for a ship of this size to have one. Especially with, if you're out surveying. Like I said, I think this is a surveying ship, right? Not so much an explorer. This is a ship, if you found something that was worth a lot, you could go out, survey the area. Let's say you found a mining vein or something. You send this out, bleed the area dry, move on. That's my sort of theory about it. Again, we have the main elevator here. Easy access to all 3 decks. But again, the floor plan here on this particular deck, again, looks very sort of simple and easy to navigate. I like that. Vehicle and cargo ramp. Load and unload vehicles or large-scale cargo. Okay, I like it. I like it. I like the fact that we can carry ships and vehicles, but I don't think we can carry cargo and a vehicle. I think it's one or the other, but I like the idea of having that option. Yeah, here we go. Vehicle cargo bay. Store ground vehicles or up to 250 SCU of cargo. So it's one or the other, basically. So depending on where you are and what you plan to do, you have 2 options. So there's a little bit of flexibility there, which I have to admit, I quite like the side of that. I just don't know what vehicles we can get in there. Time will tell, I guess. Or how many vehicles, I should say, really. Ship hangar. Store the ground vehicles or small ships. So we can store vehicles in there too. Now there's a number of ships we could store in here, but I'm thinking, could we get a prospector in here? Right? Could we get 2? Could we get a mole in here and then have the 3 crew who are not doing particularly much, send them out in a mole? Could we do that? Is that a thing? That would be awesome. Then we have the viewing room at the back, where you could go and sort of, if you throw a little tantrum because your crew are doing your head in, you can just sort of hide at the back of the ship, which is nice. Everyone needs their space, right? So overall, it's fairly impressive. Like I said, I think to compare it directly to the Carrick is wrong. Try to think of the bigger picture. I'm trying to. This is very much going to be a profit ship, a surveying ship, that maybe the Carrick has found something valuable and comes back and plots the course to this ship. Then you send this out with its little entourage of vehicles and ships. I don't think it's a Carrick Killer. I think it's an excellent complement to work alongside a Carrick. That's just my opinion. But I love the look at it. I think it's got great potential. We'll only know how this will all unfold within the verse, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm glad I own one. Will I miss my Carrick? Yeah, of course I will. Of course I will miss my Carrick. But you know what? I'll buy it back in game if needs be. Because I think, again, these 2 ships will just work in tandem so well together. They both have strengths and they both have their weaknesses, right? The biggest one for me, the biggest weakness for this ship is, in fact, the fact that it doesn't have a nav table, hologram nav table, to plan such operations. I think that's a huge missed opportunity. But yeah, so these are just some of my general thoughts, guys. I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What are you planning to do with one if you have one? Why did you get one? Did you trade in a Carrick? Are you keeping your Carrick because you think that the modules that it's going to get in the future might outweigh the Odyssey? I'm very interested to know. Do let me know down in the comments how you're planning to use this, or what you think its strengths will be. I am very much sort of filled to the brim with optimistic hope on how this ship would pan out. I mean, because look at it, it's awesome. I don't think anyone's going to call this ugly, because it just isn't. It's awesome. It's to me the best looking ship Misc have done. I'm very much looking forward to it. So yeah, quite a controversial ship, you know. A lot of ums and ifs and buts and whats, but that's my sort of 2 pennies worth of what I think. I like it. I think it's going to be a great addition to the verse. Gets a big thumbs up from me. And yeah, so that's going to wrap this video up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. We'll get a little discussion going, because it's certainly very interesting, right? So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you guys know what buttons to press, and I will have more content en route to your location very soon. Cheers.